I've taught a lot of different things to new game developers, and the thing that has been both the hardest to teach, but also made the biggest difference in people's lives, and absolutely was the change in learning that most transformed my life, my trajectory, my career in the 28 years I've been making games, isn't how to program. It isn't even actually how to project plan or finish projects, the production side stuff. Even though I've got top courses that are best selling in category for both those subjects, the hardest thing to teach, which cannot come across in a video course, is the importance of working with other people. It's to flip that around, accepting that ultimately we shouldn't try to do everything ourselves. There can be a lot of pride wrapped up in it. There can be a sense of, I should be able to do it all. It is unreasonable. It wears us out. It burns us out. It, worse, takes too long to get results we feel good about for most of us. And there's just sort of this mortal sense, this acceptance, this humility to, even if I'm a smart person who's working hard and has a sensible head on their shoulders, this is stuff that's better done by multiple people. And it's not even just about specializations. I know sometimes our thinking about teamwork is, okay, well, maybe I'm a programmer, I need an artist, maybe I need a writer, maybe I need a level designer, it's just roles, I need a sound person, etc. And there's an element that certainly takes place, but we even saw, and this has been true in the 21 years that I've been running organizations of different communities of bringing together game developers, starting at Carnegie Mellon and then Georgia Tech, and then what became Home Team, which is now DevPods, was this pattern where even if the 4 or 5 people getting together are, let's be real blunt, mostly programmers, mainly technical software engineer minded people. None of them have training in audio. None of them have background experience in any particular type of art. Even if you just take 5 human beings together who don't, again, have specialist training, who don't even necessarily have career aspirations in these different categories, this group of people together, if one of them decides, hey, I'm going to be responsible for making sure that we have images coming together. Another says, I'm going to be responsible for making sure we have audio come together. Even if there's just that level of, for this project, in this moment, taking my programmer mindset, my engineering background, my approach to seeing the world, but I'm looking out for making sure, are we getting levels done? Is writing happening in this game and coming through to the player? Already comes out better. Already wears us out less, burns us out less. And it's the sort of thing, too, where before I was doing these sort of group things as my main commercial work, which has now been my main career for over a decade, bringing together people from finishing hundreds of games together, often their first time doing team projects, so we're very used to those challenges and how to navigate that. But before that, I was doing a lot of one-on-one training, and I actually still have a handful of one-on-one clients who are kind of grandfathered in from 2014, for example, right? People I'm still working with from that year. And one of the things we've seen, and this is not anything wrong with these people, but just observing the difference between that and what happens in the group dynamics, is it'll often take an individual working solo maybe years, literally years, at the very least, many, many, many months, for something that with a team of people gets done way faster, like massively faster. And it can take 2 or 3 years to do completely alone, with even a handful of other, again, amateur, part-time, not trained in different specializations. What they can do together just so rapidly outpaces. And one of the reasons for this is just the fact that there's the morale benefit of when you come back to your project and it's gotten better because other people worked on it. There's this effect of you can mentally not be spreading yourself too thin. You can focus more on certain pieces that interest you. But most importantly, there's this feedback loop of motivation of seeing how it's coming together so much faster, of it's coming together beyond what, instead of seeing it, they've got a vision in your mind and it's coming together as kind of an imperfect version of that, seeing how it expands and grows and flourishes, sounds better, looks better, feels better, does things that were better and beyond your initial vision for it. That happens when we involve other people. But again, the tricky part of this is not even logistical, right? It's not even about how to have interpersonal team skills. It's not even about how to communicate and coordinate. It's not even about any of those kind of tactical things. It is first a mindset shift from thinking I can and should do it all myself. You know, and I try to not pick too much on traditional conventional education stuff. I completely get, I'm sympathetic having worked in it, that there are reasons why it's structured and shaped the way that it is for grading, etc. But one of the just habits I've seen that it leaves in a lot of people is a feeling that, and I think this, I mostly felt this like, say, my undergrad years in computer science, we were basically told, if you talk to a classmate about this problem or this assignment or whatever, you're pretty much cheating. That the sense was you have to be able to do it all yourself. These have been pre-designed to be doable by a single person, and if you talk to someone else about the problem, you're cheating. And the difficulty with that, while it serves well, that, of course, for these people getting pumped out of a program, they need to be able to pass a certain level of bar for the kind of work that they're doing. In the broader world, most problems are not artificially made bite-sized for one person. In the broader world, the mix of challenges that it involves to do anything substantial, not just a game, but anything, any project of substance is going to involve more than one person working together, talking openly about it. And it's a little bit like, too, and again, a kind of inversion from my undergrad years. So I did not have a strong math background. My high school completely left out proofs, which it turns out is a major part of CS curriculum. I was a pretty strong programmer. I got an early head start. I had a lot of comfort and fluency. I'd built a lot of games even before I went to college. And so as we went through the years, the first couple years, I really struggled because there was a lot of stuff about using math proofs. As it got more into programming in the later years, I was doing much better. And what I really found most fascinating, interesting of all, was when we took it, and it wasn't just using programming to make problems easier that would have been harder without programming, but it was pushing the boundaries of here are problems that are so complex that we could not tackle these problems without the powers of programming. In the same way, when it comes to game design, game development, software, again, running a business, doing anything in the world around us, if instead you look at it as, okay, well, could I make the same thing easier? It's not about that. It's about recognizing you can push the boundaries of what is still challenging to do with a team, and it just completely opens up the area of possibility. The other really exciting thing about working with other people, when we get out of our own heads, we spend so many years with a certain amount of books we've read, movies we've seen, games we've played, influences, music we listen to. We each have our own unique lens into that. And part of what happens is it finds its way out in its work and the things that we're doing, the games that we're producing. And there starts to be kind of a pattern, a repetition. We can get a little monotony. We can get kind of bored of, I'm kind of producing the same sort of stuff. Each time we mix up who we're working with, it's like, I mean, not to instrumentalize people, but it's a little bit like a different plugin. It's a little different DLC. It's mixing up the combination of me and anybody else's individual history of books and music and movies and insights and goals and strengths and aesthetic preferences or whatever is going to take it a different direction. And then when I work with somebody different next time, it takes it a different direction. And the variety is another thing that keeps us engaged and it's enabled me to keep cranking out 4 or 5 games every year for the 28 some odd years I've been doing this, in addition to helping literally hundreds of other people finish their first projects with remote teammates. So if this sounds good, and again, it's more, first and foremost, it's a mindset shift. It is getting over this idea of I can and should do it all myself, and recognizing that no, it's really goes a whole lot better with a group. It's no longer as tiring, it no longer wears you out, it no longer feels impossible. It's no longer so discouraging and demoralizing. It can be fun. It should be fun. Anyway, if you're up for joining us for that, devpods.gg is the way to do it. It is a structure we've set up. We've used to release hundreds of games. We have simplified, streamlined, made it more affordable. devpods.gg. Join us over there, make games with us. Get over this idea of doing what you can do solo. Maybe you've hit the limit of that a while ago. One of my favorite things that I feel good about in the work that I've been doing is very much seeing people who are at the verge of giving up. They thought they were about to quit. They felt like they were running out of energy on what they'd been doing. And the reality was they just needed this tipping point of being introduced to others with a little bit of minimal structure, with a little bit of support from peers to recognize that it was opening up whole new exciting frontiers of opportunities, of cool things they could be doing, of exciting results from the skills that they already have. That isn't taking more of their time. It's actually taking less of their time per week to make even better things in a shorter timeline. Anyway, devpods.gg. Join us over there. Catch you all next time. Bye for now.